Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and American churches don't care about domestic violence. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and American churches don't care about domestic violence. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. I just recorded and uploaded a video about curbing the epidemic of domestic violence in the homes of our U.S. military veterans. I just recorded and uploaded a previous video on this subject matter to hopefully help someone who is experiencing domestic violence at the hands of a U.S. military veteran. Hopefully, this will cause Congress and our president and the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs to act quickly on reducing and curbing the occurrences of domestic violence and suicidal events, which seems to be a growing epidemic in the homes and lives of our U.S. military soldiers who have served our country so honorably. Now, this video will be about the issue of domestic violence in the 2016 election. Currently, our presumptive 2016 nominees for president are Hillary Clinton for the Democrats, Donald J. Trump for the Republican Party of the GOP. And then we have America's churches, the church community in America. The issue of domestic violence seems to have gotten lost in all the hoopla and chaos of this very heated electric 2016 presidential election. I think I've heard Hillary Clinton mention domestic violence maybe once or twice. Unfortunately, my candidate, Donald J. Trump, hasn't mentioned it at all. I said, unfortunately, my candidate, Donald J. Trump, hasn't mentioned domestic violence or curbing domestic violence at all. And churches in America are still protecting men who beat their wives. How sad. How sad that in 21st century America, women who are victims of domestic violence are still not safe on American soil. Not even when they go to a church to report that a male church member is beating his wife. The preachers are still telling the wives, you must have provoked your husband. You must have provoked your husband to beat you. Now, it amazes me how our current sitting president, Barack Obama Jr., he's wasting billions of taxpayer dollars fighting culture wars over transgender bathrooms. But he's not doing anything to curb domestic violence in homes. President Obama, nor Congress are doing nothing to curb statistics of domestic violence in American homes, nor in the homes of U.S. military veterans. I don't hear Hillary Clinton speaking about this issue anymore. On her campaign. I don't hear Donald J. Trump mentioning this at all. And American churches are still protecting men who beat their wives by telling the wives, you must have provoked your husband to beat you, or he wouldn't be beating you. So women in America are not safe. How sad. This is 21st century America. You mean to tell me we can send a man to the moon? You mean to tell me that in the United States of America, we can send a man to the moon, but we can't do anything to stop or curb domestic violence in the homes of U.S. military veterans or in American homes in general. We can't do anything to stop it. And churches are being allowed to act as mental health professionals. Churches, pastors, and I'm a born again Christian, so don't think I'm bashing churches, because I'm not. I am a born again Christian and I do go to church. So I'm not bashing churches. I'm just saying that churches and pastors should not be acting as mental health professionals. I repeat, churches and pastors should not be acting as mental health professionals, and they should not be advising wives and women who are victims of domestic violence. They should not be telling these women, oh, you must have provoked your husband to beat you, or he wouldn't be beating you. That is horrible to tell a woman who is a victim of domestic violence. Nor should a church tell a man, oh, drop your wife, just get rid of her. If the wife comes to the church to report domestic violence, the church should not label that wife as bipolar or mentally unstable because she reports domestic violence to the church. The church should not tell the husband, oh, get rid of your wife, she's a troublemaker. Get rid of her. She told on you. She must have provoked you to beat her. She's a troublemaker. Get rid of her. That's wrong. That's wrong. I thought the church was about love and Jesus, not telling women you're a troublemaker if they come to the church to report domestic violence, or telling the wives you must have provoked your husband to beat you. What did you do? The church, when they get wind, when they are informed, when churches are informed that a man is beating his wife, especially if the wife has reported this to the church more than once, more than twice, the church should get the law enforcement officials involved, not try to help the man get out of a marriage so he don't have to pay alimony. I repeat, the church should not be siding with the husband to help the husband get out of a situation, get out of a marriage without having to pay alimony. That's wrong. Where does that leave the wife? So you're going to punish a wife for telling the church that her husband is beating on her. I've been keeping a very close eye, as you all know, by watching my channel. I've been keeping a very close eye on the 2016 election. I don't see where domestic violence or suicide prevention among vets appears to be a major issue in this election. Women voters will make up a very large percentage of registered voters during the 2016 presidential election. I said that, let me say it again in case you didn't hear me say it the first time. I said that registered women voters will make up a very large percentage of voters going to the polls in November of 2016 for this very crucial presidential election in the USA. Many of those women will have been, at some point in their lives, will have experienced domestic violence, whether it be in a marriage, a former marriage, or in a dating relationship. Many of those women would have been victimized by a U.S. military veteran who is suffering from some form of mental instability and beat on those women. Many of those women would have visited a church and reported domestic violence, and the church would have blacklisted the woman, telling the woman, you must have provoked your husband to beat you, or telling the husband, we'll help you get out of this marriage without paying alimony. We'll take your side. And then the churches wonder why the government is coming after them. Then the churches are wondering why the government is coming after them. They've lost their place. If you're a church, you should be about love, God's love, showing God's love and Jesus. You should not be about blacklisting women and casting aside women who report they are victims of domestic violence. God forbid churches who are doing this even to this day while I'm speaking on this video. Some woman today has gone to a church in America and been told by her pastor that, hey, if your husband is beating you, it's your fault. You must have provoked it. God forbid. What is Hillary Clinton going to do about this issue in the 2016 election on the campaign trail? What is Donald J. Trump going to do about this issue on the campaign trail in this 2016 election? When are American churches going to stop acting as mental health professionals and blacklisting women and punishing women by telling them if their husband beats them, it's their fault? When church is going to stop doing that? Is that showing God's love? Churches, let me ask you, pastors, is it showing God's love to tell a woman in your congregation that it's her fault if she's being beat? I'm going to revisit this issue later, but I hope it's picked up on a campaign trail immediately, because many women voters will be going to the polls in November of 2016 to elect a new president. Many of those women have been or are currently experiencing domestic violence in their personal lives. Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump and American churches don't seem to care about domestic violence. Do you? Hopefully this video can help someone. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.